Your father's wound isn't always seen, but it is felt. It is invisible, silent, yet deeply alive. The cruelest part is that the frustration you feel isn't about what your father did. It's about what you are still waiting for him to fix when he never will. And that unconscious weight keeps you tied down. This won't be comfortable to hear, but if you stay, you'll find what you need to break your emotional history's hidden pattern, the bond with your father. When you reject your father, you are unconsciously fighting your own strength, your capacity to move forward, and your internal permission to succeed without guilt. And just here begins this story, because we are few who understand how this wound controls our day-to-day, even though you are an adult, even though he is no longer there, even though you have done everything to overcome it. Because if you do not understand what place your father occupies in your soul, you will continue repeating his history or fighting against it without knowing why. Today we look at this through the lens of Bert Hellinger, a man who understood something brutal and true. The excluded father becomes destiny, and if you dare to look at what you've avoided, you could recover the strength that still belongs to you. The father wound rarely comes all at once. It forms slowly, gestures that were missing, words that never arrived, looks that were lost when you needed them most. Sometimes it was absence, others rigidity, or simply indifference. There doesn't have to be violence for it to hurt. It's enough not to have been seen, to have felt you had to earn his attention, his validation, his love. And if it wasn't like that with you, maybe it was worse. A broken, immature, inaccessible, or emotionally absent father. A man carrying his own voids, who unknowingly placed them on your shoulders. Hellinger explained it powerfully. The father represents direction, the internal permission to advance, not only in the external, but in emotional, professional, and spiritual life. When that figure is not ordered within you, everything feels uncertain. You don't know where you're going. You doubt yourself. You feel that nothing holds you up. And that's where the pattern begins. You start to demand more of yourself than you should, to give more than you have, to not allow yourself rest. Why? Because deep down you believe that if you achieve enough, maybe someone will finally say, "I'm proud of you." But that someone doesn't arrive, because it's not the world who should tell you. It's your father, or rather, the place he occupies in your soul. This wound isn't always recognized, but it manifests in daily life. You seek approval where you shouldn't, avoid figures of authority, or confront them all the time. You self-sabotage right before an important achievement. You are hard on yourself, even if you don't admit it. It's hard for you to ask for help without feeling weak. You achieve success, but you don't know how to sustain it. And even so, you insist on saying, "I'm fine," but inside, something doesn't fit. It's like walking with a broken compass, as if everything in your life works, but without a soul. And the hardest part is that many times you don't even know it's a wound. You simply believe that is who you are: cold, controlling, self-sufficient, demanding, distant, that you don't trust anyone because you are strong. But in reality, all of that could be a mask, a character you created to survive when you felt you didn't have a father to turn to. Because the child who didn't feel his father had to become his own guide. He had to learn to advance alone, to carry without complaining, to perform without being held.
This isn't who you are. This is who you became to survive. But the child who carried that weight is now an adult capable of setting it down. Today, you have the power to break that pattern, to claim your own direction, to finally walk free.